Hey everybody, welcome to today's live stream show. I'm Judy the YouTube Lawyer, and again with me today we have our special guest, total true crime buff, Toni Lombardo from the Boston area. So let's introduce Toni to the screen. Hi Toni, thanks for being here.
How are you?
Fine, yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Debt Free Dad is here, please support his channel, and Harley D is here. Thank you. Yeah, that'll be great if you want to later talk with us about the Eliza Fletcher. I can post a link if people actually want to show their faces too. But let's talk about first the Chiquita Tate case, if you don't mind. Yeah, and Chiquita Tate is, or she was an attorney in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. And unfortunately, she was found murdered in her law office back in 2009. So it is sort of old news, but I would like to just briefly touch on it again because I was surprised recently to have this new video show up on my YouTube feed. And A&E just uploaded this very short 12-minute video about her case a couple of weeks ago. So I'd like to point everybody to the attention of this. But just in a nutshell, Chiquita Tate was she was a real fighter. She had grown up in the foster care system. She had a lot of siblings and moved around a bit and everything, but she did really well in school and managed to graduate from Southern University Law School and started her own successful criminal defense practice where she represented lots of, just down and out impoverished people. She helped them regardless of whether they could really afford to pay her, and she did a great job. And the sad thing is that in the romance department, though, she wasn't as lucky. She met this guy when I guess she had a run-in with him, maybe a possible traffic issue where the guy might have cut her off or something. So she got out of the car, started yelling at him, and that's how they started their relationship, because then that guy, Greg, asked her out on a date, even though they started out fighting and yelling at each other in the street. He turned out to be an abusive guy. He twisted her arm. He beat her up even before they got married, but she was madly in love with Greg and still got married to Greg Harris. And so ultimately he was convicted and sentenced for the murder of Chiquita Tate. And it was kind of like a weird mystery at first, though, because he was the one that found her. And of course, calling 911, acting like he's the grieving husband and everything, and trying to mislead people. So what do you remember about this case, Toni? You said you had heard about it.
Well, first of all, when they got into the accident, the red flag couldn't be any brighter. And she never should have started dating him.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually there are some warning signs right there, right? If your relationship starts off with cursing and yelling and screaming at each other.
Right. And he thought he was very smart about it by putting, a weave in it. He thought he was being smart by putting some hair from a weave in her fingers and dropping her wallet off in a bad part of town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you definitely know the details, because when I watched this very brief, 12-minute thing that just got put up, I was like, wow, there's just so many details that they didn't even cover, because I actually did a live stream more than a year or two ago when I first started doing YouTube, but hardly anybody saw my live stream about Chiquita Tate. But yeah, it was, he deliberately planned this because he knew that she was getting ready to leave him. She was threatening him with divorce, or maybe he had found out something that she was trying to get a separation agreement drafted. And so he's like a bum. I think he worked in construction and basically mooched off of her.
He absolutely did. And she was really getting big too. She was getting really big.
Yeah.
In her business.
People liked her. People could relate to her. She did a great job for her clients, and, really amazing, and so sad because I think she was only about, how old was she? Maybe 34 when she got murdered.
Yeah, 34.
Yeah. So the thing with the weave, they didn't mention it in this special, but
they said it was cut.
Yes. Yeah. So the investigators figured out that this hair that was stuck in Shaquita's hand when she was lying there dead in her office, it wasn't even real, regular hair, because they could tell that it had been cut off. And then later on, when they searched Greg's home, they found a box with the rest of the hair weave that had been cut, under his bed. in a
plus
box.
the way he weaved it in and out, in between her fingers. Like,
Mhm.
when you're fighting someone, you're just gonna grab it and pull it. You're not gonna have it perfectly
Yeah.
placed.
Yeah, it's just like classical, like stupid blunders where people think they're going to get away with murder and they try to plant things, but it all comes back to bite them because it's not credible. And then, do you remember there was something about like she had helped a lesbian couple in some legal issue, and so
Yep,
Greg's half sister or
sister
sister, yeah, tried to
sent the
call the
letter. Yeah,
police. Yeah, called the police, or did she send a letter saying that, oh,
she's
it's a lesbian couple that had been involved with her in a love
she sent
triangle?
a letter, and they interviewed that couple, and they said that couple loved Chiquita,
Hmm.
and the sister later confessed to sending that letter.
Hmm. Yeah, and I didn't hear anything about whether Greg's sister got prosecuted for
Yeah, I
anything.
don't know if she did, but I know she confessed to sending it.
Well, good. I mean, at least she fessed up to it. Yeah, what a way to mislead the investigators and waste their time and energy trying to look into the lesbian couple that might have killed her. Yeah.
Yeah, because she might have been having an affair with one of them.
Yeah, yeah, ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, so a very sad case. And if you guys want to look into it, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube, of course, about the Shakita Tate case, as well as my old live stream from over a year ago, where I discussed the case more. Yeah. So I'm sorry, this is kind of depressing, isn't it? Like Dan is like, WTH is wrong with people. Yeah. Yeah.
True crime usually is depressing,
Yeah.
unless we're
Lots.
talking about silly Charlie.
Yeah, yeah, that's why sometimes it's kind of more fun to talk about Charlie Adelson, right?
Because
But,
he's such a clown.
yeah, planting evidence is the dumbest thing you can do. Blood spatter and so many other forensic details make your planted evidence obvious as hell. Yeah, and Debt-Free Dad would know because he was a criminal defense attorney himself before getting a nice job with the government.
There
So
was a lot of blood in her office.
oh yeah, yeah, and one of the many sad things is that the prosecutor, the woman that's the prosecutor in the case, was
Yes,
friends with Shakita,
and she
and
put
she
her in
said that
prison.
when she walked upon the scene, it was like the worst she had ever seen, and
She
to see her
promised her
friend.
that she'd get the person.
Yeah, yeah, it's so awful. Yeah, but I'm glad that they were able to solve the mystery, the murder mystery, pretty quickly. Yeah. So, yeah. So, what other case would you like to discuss next?
Tronnes, David Tronnes. You say Tronnes. I think it's Tronnes.
I think it's Trance because of the way he spoke in the 911 call. And actually, do you mind if I play part of the 911 call? Because I think it's hilarious, actually.
Oh, when he's
Yeah. Oh my
crying. Yeah,
God.
sure.
You guys should see this on Deep Dive True Crime. I'm not going to play the whole thing because the whole thing's about 9 minutes long, but this is actually hilarious now that we know that he, like, 99.9% was the killer of his wife. But somebody in the comments said, hey, he sounds like he's auditioning for the next Medea movie. I
I
thought
am
it made me
addicted.
crack
I'm
up.
addicted to that case now.
What, the Trons or
Yeah, and
Tronnes?
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Angela would like us to play the 911 call. I'm a Dave Tronnes or Tronnes addict. Poor David. Yeah. Okay, so let's play this. We'll do a little bit of it, but of course encourage people to go to Deep Dive True Crime. I hope you guys can.
Hello? Look, baby, she's not breathing. I'm trying to do CPR. I can't. Okay, listen to me. Can you tell me what your address is?
Oh,
I don't know, 218. 218 East Copeland? Okay, and who is this?
East Copeland, this is David Tronnes.
Your name is Dan?
David.
Okay, your name is David? Okay, who is it that's not breathing?
My wife, Shanti.
Your wife is not breathing? Okay. I need to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Listen to me. I'm going to get the paramedics so we can try and get her some help, okay? Don't hang up. Fire department. Okay, with the medical, we're also going. department? Okay, with the medical, we're also going. Okay, let's see a little fire department. What's the address of the emergency?
218 East Copeland Drive.
218 East Copeland Drive. What's the telephone number you're calling me from?
This is 407 704. It's a house line.
Tell me exactly what happened.
I came over. I tried.
Okay, what happened?
I found her in the shower.
And she passed away. Listen. Okay, what's your name? Okay, are you with her right now? How old is she? How old?
39.
Okay, is she awake right now?
No.
Is she breathing?
I can't wake her up.
Okay, listen. Is she breathing?
No, I tried to do CPR. I can't get her to breathe.
Okay, can you get her out of the shower?
I can't. I pulled her out.
Okay, is she laying flat on her back?
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't know what happened or when anything happened? Okay. Is there a defibrillator available?
Okay, maybe I'll fast forward a little
Is there
bit,
a
but
defibrillator available?
he's still keeping up this whole act.
She had already been dead for hours.
Okay, I want you,
Yeah.
when you hear them coming in, when you hear them come in, I want you to call them, okay? Has she been sick or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, what happened to me? Baby.
Okay, the paramedics are on the property, okay? I'm gonna stay on the phone with you until you're right with them.
Oh my God. Okay, I think that's enough. I mean, this guy is like such a drama queen. Oh my God.
And during the I don't know if you watched any of the police interrogation, but he was very, very quiet during those. You could barely hear him.
Yeah, exactly. I did watch a lot of the interrogation also on Mentor Lawyer's channel. Yeah, and he just seemed like so weird, like vacillating between like different emotions and
Because he's a dum-dum.
Yeah. So what do we recall about their backgrounds? They met on Match.com, right?
He was living in Minnesota and she was living in Florida, and they met on maybe it was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so he moved down here to be with her, and supposedly he was really rich, but I don't think he ever told her how he made his money. And all those renovations that they were doing on that house, she was paying for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I heard. So I read somewhere that he claimed that he was inheriting more than $3 or $4 million from his father. Of course, that was a lie, right?
Was it a lie? I don't know if we know if it was a lie. I think everyone thinks it was a lie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So Shanti was recently divorced with a little boy, right?
Yep. Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jackson.
Yeah. And what's sad is that I read some articles where they mentioned the son claiming that, David is just totally lying and trying to pretend to be crazy because he doesn't want to. Yeah, and that's strange because at first I thought, oh, if they're talking about a son, then surely he must be like, 20 years old or older or something. But then I found out the boy is only 12 now, right?
Yeah. He was only 8 when this happened, right? 8?
Yeah, that is so sad that like he had to be involved with this whole investigation and go to court, or he knows all what's going on with his mother's murder investigation. It's so sad. Yeah. Although, like, do you think David had a good relationship with the little boy?
Probably, I'm not sure of that. So I'd say, but the little boy heard them argue a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and where's the kid's father?
He's in the picture. They interviewed him. Uh, he's nearby, but he's definitely in the picture. I think he shared custody. He had nothing bad to say about Shanti.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, because I did read that the little boy is now living with his biological father. So
Yeah,
at least there's a dad out there that can take care of him. Okay.
thank God.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for your comments about this. They bought that house in a popular gay neighborhood. I can't recall the name. Okay. Yeah, the house did look good on the outside, right? Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of, yeah, it's nice on the outside, but it was torn to shit in the inside.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like looking at those pictures, I'm like, that's a house, and they were living in above the garage or something while doing all those renovations.
Yeah. I think the only thing he kept nice in the house was the pool, and that's because he used it a lot.
Yeah, surprisingly, he did not drown her in the pool, but
Right?
so was there actual evidence that she found out he was gay and that spurred him to kill her?
Yeah, she saw text messages or something. She found something. And how could everyone that met him thought that he was gay? How could I don't know. How could she not know?
I don't know. Maybe he was good at putting on a butch persona when he needed to, right? Because
everyone was surprised to find out he had a wife. Everybody.
Yeah, well, he had a previous wife too, right?
Right. Oh, and her, yeah. Did you hear her interview? She was
No.
defending him. She didn't want to answer any questions.
That's strange. Like, why would she want to protect him?
Because I think that they have some type of financial thing going on together. They have some type of account, some type of a trust, but she's just loyal to him big time. I don't know why.
Yeah,
something
that is very
money,
strange.
though. I can guarantee it's something to do with money.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because so what did David do for a living then? Like, did he have a real job? It seemed like people thought that he had no job. He was just mooching off of Shanti.
I think I want to say he gambled a lot.
That's his source of income?
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else because I follow many different crimes. He didn't work.
Yeah.
Everyone in the neighborhood said he didn't work.
Yeah, because today I listened also on Deep Dive True Crime to the interview of Shanti's friend. I think the woman's name was Elena or something. So it was interesting to find out that Shanti was actually, a half Asian Indian. So that's how Elena, kind of bonded with her, because Elena was married to an Indian man, and she had children that were like half Indian and half white or whatever.
She also said that Shanti was very bossy and controlling, and he was always doing stuff to try to make her happy.
Oh, okay.
I think he just snapped one night.
Yeah, it could be. In addition to her finding out that he was going to Club Orlando, right, to the gay bath sauna, gay bath house.
It all came crashing down on him like a bulldozer.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm sorry about that. Let me see. Oh, okay. Thank you, Ms. Pepper. You seem to know your stuff, right? He worked for 3M.
He worked at 3M for many, many years, but then he just quit while he was married to his first wife. And I think they talk about him poisoning the wives. And they say that he quit the 3M job so that he could help his ex-wife with her diet while they were still married. And they think he might have been poisoning Shanti too.
Yeah, that's what, even that friend said she looked very pale and kind of different
But yeah, he had a great job at 3M and he just quit.
Yeah, this guy's like pretty nutty, right? I really don't think he's schizophrenic. I mean, what you don't just suddenly become schizophrenic conveniently.
They all agreed.
I guess multiple doctors agreed that he's schizophrenic.
Yes, but he's better now. He's out. He's back in jail waiting trial.
Yeah, that's what he deserves. But do you have any idea when his trial is going to be? Maybe next year?
Oh God! Well, his next appearance is until January. I don't know why they're taking so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
David
have no
was smart.
idea. I didn't even know about this case until we were chatting online one night, and someone said it in the chat.
Yeah,
So I've been
yeah, I
hooked
never would have. Yeah, a lot of these cases I never would have heard about if it weren't for YouTube, because here in my local news, like, we don't hear about all these crimes happening in other states. Yeah, of course it's a Florida case. It happened in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
So what's your theory of the case? That she saw information about him going to the gay bathhouse, and she blew up at him, and he snapped
Well,
and beat her up?
yeah. I mean, plus money issues, plus the fact that he wasn't getting the house done. They slept in separate bedrooms. I think she knew he was gay, and they had some type of arrangement. They had, I don't know, but they slept in different rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Well, they dated for what, like 4 years before they got married. So you would think that she really knew what kind of person he was, but maybe because it was long distance at first, and she was just so happy to find somebody.
maybe some
Yeah.
women will just take anything.
Yeah, and especially since she had a little kid, maybe she felt like, oh, this guy that seems to present well. I mean, he used to look good. I mean, I have
Yeah,
to
that's
admit,
what I
he
heard.
used to look good. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
crazy maniac now. He looks like
Yeah, now he looks like some, like, totally, like, bonkers weirdo.
scary,
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, with long, shaggy, grayish hair, and this kind of like, like bugged out look to him. Yeah.
Kind of looks like Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen Mel Gibson in a while. Oh, she was pressuring him about the money and getting the deed. He was losing it mentally. Yeah, getting that house renovated. I mean, it just looks like so much stress. And what they do, they like knocked out all the walls downstairs.
Yeah,
And
they ripped up the floors too. They just left like a little path to walk.
It's like, why would anybody do that? That just looks like such a headache, trying to renovate the house. They should have just bought a new house altogether instead of making a whole mess.
Yeah, I plan on doing like one room at a time when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Not the
Well,
whole
do
house.
you know if that house is still, what happened to the house? Has it been sold?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he still owns it.
Oh, okay. So it's just sitting there. Oh, yeah.
I
So
would
you gotta
say
tell me more about what happened with his mom. I know his mom just died
she
earlier this
did. She
year.
died in February.
Uh-huh. And he
She
treated her like crap.
Oh, terrible on the phone calls. I don't know. He seemed to have a lot of patience with her, but he was very sarcastic, and she had dementia, so she really wouldn't remember from one word to the next. He was awful to her, making her run around for him and pay his bills for him, put his mail in a special spot and throw it away in a special spot. He was bad, mean.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that Mentor Lawyer has all these videos of his like phone calls, like Christmas phone call from David Tronnes.
Everything. How many phone calls? A lot. I want to start hearing some phone calls from other cases. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we like hearing phone calls where you can actually get into the person's psyche. Yeah, I have never heard of this case. This is another thing to look into. Have you heard of this before?
Tronnes?
No, this one that the person is asking about.
I can't see the comments. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, okay. Can you discuss the Adnan Syed case? Have you heard of that at all? I've never heard of it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I don't think so. Say the name again.
Adnan Syed, S-Y-E-D.
Oh, yeah. He's the one that killed his daughters, right?
I guess maybe
It was an honor killing.
Oh, geez.
He shot them dead in a taxi cab.
What?
Yeah, if that's the one they're talking about, someone is.
Yeah. Okay, I'm Googling it. Okay. Yeah, that's another case I haven't heard about, but it's like the more I'm on YouTube, the more people keep telling me about
If
these
you name a
horrible.
case, I'll say I know it or not, and I know most of them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, some people are still mentioning the David Tronnes case, that he had a good paying job. 110 is considered loaded to a lot of people.
He did.
That's sad the mom died. Those recorded phone calls, David was awful to her. Hope she found some peace. Yeah. Do you recall, like, one of the phone calls that I listened in on, like, he was just such a jerk to his mom. He's like, get the mail and put the mail on my desk. And then she's like, well, what about Shanti's mail? And he's like, oh, just throw it in the trash or
Yeah.
something. I'm like, come on, we know you killed your wife. If you didn't kill your wife, why would you just tell your mom to throw her mail in the trash?
I know his mom also would say, like, well, if it's she would say, if it's not your fault, why are you in jail? And he would say, you know why? Because we have to go through a process.
Yeah, because he knew that he couldn't be like saying incriminating statements on the recorded phone line, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
His uncle almost kind of told him off one day.
Who did?
His uncle, when he was trying to make his uncle do all this running around for him. And his uncle actually told him, this is kind of an inconvenience to all of us,
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it seems like the uncle is sick and tired of dealing with him. Okay, Andrea Snyderman, have you heard of that? That's the lady.
I watched that trial a couple of times too.
Oh.
She was arrested and then they dropped the charges.
What? Was that the lady who was having an affair?
Yeah, she was having an affair with her boss named Hemi Newman.
Hemi? Okay.
Hemi. His name was Hemi.
Okay. So she's having an affair with the boss, and then what? She decided she was going to kill her husband?
No, actually, her boss did it on his own. I don't think she knew about it.
Oh.
I don't think she knew about it.
So then what's she on trial for?
Well, she did lie about the affair, and if you ever, you should look it up because she takes the stand in that case, and oh boy, was she a firecracker.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
That was a good trial. That was good.
So
but she's free now. She's free.
Oh, okay. I see. Interesting. Okay, so what happened to Hemi? The boyfriend.
He's in jail for life. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if he got innocent because of being insane. I think he got innocent by insanity, I think.
What?
I think so. Look that up.
Okay, how do you spell Hemi?
Hemy, Newman, Ne.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. So what happened to Hemi Newman? He looks creepy.
Yeah, he was creepy. And the way he took down the husband was awful. It reminds me of it reminds me of Markel case because he shot him right in front of the daycare.
Oh, you know what? I think I did read about this ages ago.
I'm sure you did. I just have a really good memory, so when you say a case, I know I've seen it.
Yeah, the strange case of the guy who shot the girlfriend's husband in front of the daycare. Okay. Oh yeah, because this is where my family used to live, Dunwoody, Georgia. So I definitely did.
Dunwoody.
Yeah. Okay. So the court upheld his conviction.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Conviction of murder and illegal firearm possession in his second trial, which was held in 2016. He was initially found guilty but mentally ill in 2012. But
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. So what in Georgia, does that mean he would have been put in a mental asylum? I have no idea.
Right. I mean, I don't know if he's in a mental asylum right now or prison. I have no idea.
No. But then ultimately they retried him and then he was convicted. Oh, well, that's sad. He was a former GE Energy executive. He had an affair with Snyderman's wife. He acknowledged planning Snyderman's murder by buying a disguise, carrying out the killing, and throwing the murder weapon into a lake.
Yeah, he rented a car to do it too.
Oh, geez, what a way to ruin your life.
Right?
Snyderman, who has insisted she was never romantically involved with Newman, initially was accused of helping Newman kill her husband. After murder charges against her were dropped, she was later found guilty of perjury and hindering the apprehension of a killer, released from prison in 2014 after serving 10 months of a 5-year sentence. Wow, only 10 months.
Yeah.
Well, at least she served some time. I don't know what her life is like now.
But I've never seen anyone like her on the stand.
What do you mean? Like what did she present like?
A biatch.
Really? Okay, now I want to watch it.
Just Google Andrea Snyderman testimony and oh boy. And then text me and let me know what you think.
Okay, yeah, that's another really weird, crazy case involving.
Some people think that she manipulated him to kill her husband, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, you like the impersonations? Okay, thank you. Yeah, Bev was great. Bev is David Tronnes' mother, the poor lady who passed away earlier this year. Yeah. Andrea Snyderman. Okay, so okay, we'll look into the Syed thing. I did not know about that.
Oh yeah, he killed his daughters.
That is horrible. What did they do?
And the 911 call was so heart-wrenching. Oh.
So, but why? Why did he kill his daughters?
Because they wanted to be Americanized. They wanted to date American boys, and he just wanted them to date whatever they were, Muslim, I guess.
Oh, how old were the kids?
Teenagers.
Oh, so what? He got them into the car and just shot them inside the car?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact details of how they got in the car. I think he was a taxi driver. And, he shot them both and then left. He just left the cab with them in it, and I don't know where he went. He went on the run.
Oh, okay.
He was on the run for like 4 years before they caught him.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay.
Are you looking it up right now?
Not right now. I'm looking at all the comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I did include the link to this live stream, guys, in the chat. So if anybody really wants to come on camera and talk with me and Toni while showing Toni, yeah. So feel free to join us if you want to. Okay, so Kim says Andrea is an earlier version on Wendy. He got life without. Okay, she lied and kept lying. She was found guilty out of 9 out of 13 counts, sentenced to 5 to 22 months. Rich use. Oh, okay.
Well, the whole case just reminds me of the Adelson case, really bad.
Okay, well, I would like to look more into it, but I definitely do recall reading about it ages and ages ago because of that Dunwoody, Georgia angle where my family used to live. Okay, Adnan Said from the podcast Serial Hey was his girlfriend. He was just given a new trial. Okay, interesting. Okay, dropped the murder charge against Andrea. Okay, doesn't sound like insanity. Okay, yeah, I think we're kind of skipping around here. So who's the dead husband family is suing her over the insurance money. He was worth $2 million debt. Okay, you're talking about the Snyderman case. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So this has to do with the Syed case. I think they were dating black guys. I don't know. Did you hear
black guys? I don't know if they were black guys, but they weren't Muslim. They wanted to be American girls, and he didn't. I don't know why he brought his family to America if he didn't want them to be Americanized.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, Hefner is a monster after all these years. So who's Hefner?
Hefner?
Does that sound okay? How do you jump on a live? I put it in the chat a while ago, but if you search back in the chat, there's a link that you can click on. So as long as you have you're on a computer or a phone that has a camera and a microphone, then you can join us. Okay, so well, we were talking about Andrea Snyderman, but okay. So any parting words on David Tronnes?
I can't wait for the trial.
Yeah, that should be really interesting. Does he have a public defender?
He had one attorney, lost him. I think he quit. So he has another one.
Oh, okay. So let's move on to Chrissy Powell. I really would like to talk about this because she was a paralegal for a law firm in San Diego. And this was just in the news recently because the cause of death was released recently. So what happened in the Chrissy Powell case was that she was a paralegal for a law firm. And one day in early July 5th, I believe, she was late to work. So she's caught on her home security camera running out the door to go to work. And she never made it. So sometime around lunchtime, somebody at her law firm realized that she had never shown up. What's going on? So one of the people from her law firm went over to her house and asked, what happened to Chrissy. And I think the son was at home and said, well, we saw her when she was going to work. So she was a missing person for maybe about 2.5 weeks before they found her body and her vehicle in a shopping mall parking lot. And she was dead in the passenger seat. So everybody was just, for over 2 weeks, not knowing where she was, what happened to her, and then even finding her body. Like, people were like, what happened? What happened to this lady? So I don't know if anybody out there had heard about this case. Yeah, because you hadn't heard about it before, right, Toni, until I mentioned it?
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard about it at all. But as soon as you mentioned it, I looked it up. And I had said to you, even before I looked it up, I said, did they rule it an accident? And sure as hell they did.
Yeah. Yeah, because now the theory of the case, well, they said there was no trauma to her. So it wasn't like she was beaten up or stabbed or anything. They said the cause of death was hyperthermia, complicating ethanol intoxication.
She must have been a closet drunk, and plus she had anxiety and probably some type of depression or something. Her mother said, right?
Yeah, anxiety. Yeah, so it sounds like she had been taking medication for anxiety. And so in this article, it says ethanol toxicity results from the ingestion of large amounts of ethanol, usually in the form of alcohol. Her death was ruled an accident, according to the medical examiner's office. She had been missing since July 5th, before she was found in the parking lot at the Huebner Oaks Center. And the security guard reported a suspicious 2020 Nissan Rogue that had been sitting in the parking lot for a week. Yeah, isn't that sad that she was there for all this time before finally some security guard realized, well, something's weird about that car that keeps staying there. I better.
I wonder if she was sitting up or slouched over or laying down.
No, she was slumped. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was slumped over. But that's just kind of sad. And this is why you kind of do wish that more people would be nosy, like know what's going around you, take a look, check up on people, because who knows, there were probably plenty of other cars in and out of that shopping mall parking lot during all that time that she was just sitting in there dead, that maybe could have looked in, or what, they thought she was asleep or something. I don't know. It's just
and it was real hot too, and the windows were up.
Yeah, can you imagine that poor security guard? Yeah, it said that when he walked towards the car, he could already smell the foul odor. Yeah. So, and also her purse was found right with her. So that's how, it sounds like, there was no,
Did they find a bottle or nip or anything?
I don't know. They didn't say anything about alcohol, who knows? But it's still so weird though, because when she left the house, she lived with her mother and her 12-year-old son, I think. Yeah. And so, I didn't hear anything about the mom saying that she was drunk when she left the house.
No, and there's a video of her walking down the, the walkway.
Yeah.
In a hurry.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's kind of weird because there was an article that said the law firm was about a 15-minute drive away from her workplace, but it looks like she showed up in the shopping mall parking lot about 30 minutes after she left the house. So did she stop somewhere to buy the booze in the middle of the morning? It's just so bizarre,
Maybe she went to work drunk and nobody knew it.
No, I think she worked for a small enough law firm that they would have known if she had shown up or not, but yeah, but bottom line is, it just sounds bizarre, but probably what happened is she did go out and buy booze in the middle of the morning and then just sat down in the parking lot of the shopping mall in her car, guzzling down the alcohol, and then died from the heat.
Right. It does. I know it doesn't make sense, but they said the investigation is closed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Closed.
that's right. Yeah, from what I read, she didn't show up to work at all. Yeah, because her car was seen at that shopping mall parking lot, um, 30 minutes after she left at home. So she left at home probably like around 10 or a little after 10. Yeah. Okay, malls don't open till 10 in the morning. Yeah, so she must have just like decided like here's the parking lot at the shopping mall, so I'm going to just stop off here and guzzle down my booze or whatever she could have gotten.
They
Yeah.
say that she was rushing out of her house because she didn't want to be late for work.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just so strange. Well, another thing that why are you in the dark, Toni? Jules
I'm not in the dark. I'm in the twilight zone, man.
I think it looks cool because,
I put my
sometimes,
glasses on too. How's that?
yeah, it's all right. Yeah, because
Don't make
normally,
fun of my background. You'll hurt my feelings.
yeah, let's all cheer on Toni after some
Be
people were
nice
kind
to
of
me.
mean. People were
Aye.
mean to her.
Dang.
Okay, who's Darlie Router? Do you know who
Oh,
Darlie
she's the
Router is?
one that murdered her children.
What? Tell me more about this one because I sure don't know who this person is.
I don't know what year it was, but she's the one with the silly string who went and celebrated her dead child's birthday party at their grave with silly string, and she was chewing on her gum and
What?
like she had, she's oh, I can't stand that woman.
Wait, so what is she accused of doing?
Stabbing her kids to death.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at it. Okay, so she's from Texas also, just like the Chrissy Powell case. Rowlett, Texas.
She was a floozy. Married
Oh.
though. She was married, but she was still a floozy in my
Convicted
opinion.
and sentenced to death for the murder of her 5-year-old son Damon in 1996. She's also been charged with capital murder and the death of her 6-year-old son Devin, who was murdered at the same time as Damon. Oh.
Yeah. But there's been like specials on A&E and stuff, like, some people think she didn't do it, but she so did it.
Yeah, who else would have the motive, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like she stabbed them.
Uh-oh, someone's saying Darlie did not kill her kids.
Oh.
I don't know who did then, Stella Bella. Who? The husband didn't do it. I don't think.
Okay. People think
No,
a person who
not
has
her husband. Why would her husband do it? He was upstairs asleep with the other baby. One of the babies survived.
Okay, the theory is she killed her kids for the insurance money. She and her husband were drowning in debt. Okay, she has one more appeal. She's very selective when she will file. Okay, so you believe the husband did it? Okay, yeah, I don't know anything about the case, so this is all news to me. Yeah,
She's
hi,
been in
Elsa.
jail a long time.
Oh.
This is an old case.
Oh, she tried to frame it as a break-in and they killed the kids and left her there. The
She
husband.
sliced her own neck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she sliced her own neck.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's what the cops think.
Okay. Well, let's see what this article says. It says Darlie Routier told a detailed story about a man that broke into her home and stabbed her sons to death. Then cops found disturbing clues that ultimately put her on death row. Wow, so 1996 case. Okay, so she was only 26 years old then, and she called the police, claiming an intruder broke in and stabbed her 2 sons as well as herself. The other child, an infant named Drake, was upstairs asleep with her husband Darren. Both were unharmed. Devin was already dead. Damon died on the ambulance ride. She had cuts to her throat and right arm, briefly hospitalized. Somebody came in. They broke in and just stabbed me and my children, she screamed during the 911 call. Oh, that's a sad picture. Look at those kids.
Apple Tart is saying she wasn't even a suspect until the news crew caught the silly string at the gravesite. I think she's right about that. Because once people saw that, they were like, oh my God.
Oh, okay. Yeah, holes soon began to appear in her intruder story not long after infamous footage surfaced that showed her laughing and spraying silly string around her son's grave. But on the other hand, maybe she's just crazy and she just thought it would be like a happier occasion by making it seem like a party. I don't know.
She's a little insensitive and immature.
Yeah. Okay. Forensic analysis showed evidence that it was inconsistent with what Darlie Routier had told the police, and suspicion began to form around her. The murder weapon was a knife that had come from Routier's own kitchen, which raised suspicion that there had really been an intruder. Many valuables were laying out in plain sight that had not been taken. Then they did an analysis of blood spatters. It was inconsistent with her version of events. Wow. Okay, so what's going on now? I mean, she's just in prison for life?
Yeah, yeah. I believe so. I don't think she's got any more appeals going or anything.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Interesting. Oh, okay. So Darren got divorced, the husband. He said the decision to divorce was mutual and very difficult. He still believes his wife is innocent. Okay, the youngest son, Drake, is now 15. Well, that was 10 years ago. Yeah. Oh, okay. So interesting. Wow, there's just so many of these like weird, crazy stories.
And I think I've heard about them all. Where'd you come up with that name anyway, all of a sudden?
Which one?
Darlie Routier.
Oh, someone here in the chat box just mentioned it.
I can't see the chats that much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys are like throwing out new names of new cases I have never even heard of before. Well, let's look at Eliza Fletcher. Have you read up a lot about that? That's very recent.
I know that the guy that did it should never even been on the streets, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now about that. You know, about something about DNA testing that took like a year, and if it hadn't been for that, he would have been behind bars or something. But like you, I thought the husband might have had something to do with it too, but turns out it was just random. It was just freaking random.
Yeah, because people were saying that on social media they had made reference to either the husband or maybe even both of them going to rehab or something. So, and it sounded like they had some marital difficulty in the past. So a lot of people were immediately thinking, oh, bet the husband has something to do with it because she's from a very rich family, and her grandmother or somebody had
grandfather. Her grandfather, great-grandfather or something. But the way that during the press conference, her husband was like wiping his eyes like this. So I don't know. He was suspicious to me at first, but apparently it was just random.
Yeah. And you guys have probably seen some comments from Tori Seppa, MD, on my channel, as well as some of the other Dan Markel channels. And she's, I think she's a forensic psychiatrist who has worked in the prison system. So I would really love for Dr. Seppa to come on as a guest here on the show. But one of the really insightful comments that she left was, people shouldn't rush to judgment about, how people behave right after a loved one has died, because, some people just aren't that emotional or whatever. And sometimes people are already, being viewed with suspicion because they're not crying enough or don't look like how you think a grieving person should look. So that just kind of reminded me of in this Fletcher case where some people were thinking, oh, he seems really weird at that press conference.
He did to me.
Yeah. So what's your takeaway from the Fletcher case? Does it make you more scared to be outside? Like, I don't know if you ever go running.
Me, no, because I'm one of those that's always, they say that a predator goes after a certain type. And let me just tell you, I am not that type.
Well, no, you can't just assume,
remember
that
the RBI, resting bitch RBI?
What? Because you have RBI, you are not going to be a victim of crime? I don't know. Don't be too confident.
I am so ready to defend myself. No, you don't even know. I had one guy pick me up one time. It was raining and I was walking from one city to the next city, and it was pouring rain. So a guy in a van picked me up. I got in.
What?
And we were driving and, just chit-chatting, and then all of a sudden he goes, so, do you take money for sex? And I just looked at him and I said, pull this van over right now. And he
Oh
did.
my
I mean, he
God.
did.
Yeah. When was this?
Oh, God. It had
Long
to be
time
like
ago?
25 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad nothing happened to you. Geez.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. I mean, hearing these horrible stories of what happened to Eliza Fletcher, it just makes you feel like don't ever let your guard down. Don't just
I do bite.
assume. Huh?
I bite.
Yeah. Well, sure.
I bite
If somebody's
before.
trying to kidnap you, you use your teeth or do whatever it takes, poke them in the eyes, all that. I feel like I need to take some more self-defense classes.
Yeah, I would definitely go for all of those things. And, I had a cop pull up to me while I was walking once and I said, you better go move on to the next one because you're not getting me.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely be careful. Don't
I
get
get
in any like weirdo people's cars. Okay.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. But you know what? Like this was like several years ago before COVID, but one time I was a volunteer attorney for some bar association event. It was like an event for veterans, and the bar association wanted us to have a presence there in case like people had some legal questions. And then when I was leaving that, veterans fair or whatever, I saw this lady walking along the road by herself. And I asked her if she wanted a ride because I felt sorry for her. It was a hot day and she's like walking the whole time trying to get to the main parking lot or something. So that turned out to be a nice experience because, we started chatting. I gave her a ride over to where her car was. But thinking back, I was like, that was kind of a stupid thing to do because you can't assume that just because the person looks nice or, that she was a woman, that she couldn't have pulled out a knife on me or a gun on me.
And that works both ways too. You could have pulled a gun or knife on her.
Yeah, that's true. But, I'm just this little nerdy looking Asian woman.
I would not pick up hitchhikers now.
Oh, no. I would never pick up.
I was very young when this happened. So I'm good.
Yeah.
No walking, no hitchhiking.
Yeah.
No talking to strangers.
I know. This is just so awful, though. I mean, she seems like she was a real avid runner. Both she and her husband were really into sports and, cycling and all sorts of, exercise type things. But, she was a kindergarten teacher, even though she really probably didn't even have to work since her family was so well off.
Yeah, she just worked because she loved children, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And they had two kids also. Yeah. So this Washington Post article is about like other women who were just out running and got attacked or killed or whatever. So, yeah. So, of course, you don't want to blame the victim, but would I go jogging even in my own neighborhood at 4:30 in the morning? No way. I think
nothing in your hands, but I think he came at her from behind. I don't know.
Yeah. He basically just rushed at her because, I was reading some articles and people were like, oh, I'm going to carry pepper spray or have something in my hand. I'm like, so what? If some much bigger guy is just running out of nowhere to attack you, you're not going to even have time to like pull out your pepper spray and figure out where to spray. That pepper spray is not going to protect you. So, I think it's better to err on the side of caution. Just go get a treadmill or exercise at a
exactly.
gym.
Get a treadmill.
It's just so scary. You can't ever feel too safe.
Yeah, I lock my car doors no matter where I am. If I just get it, I make sure I lock them, even if I'm in a parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Yeah, gone are the days when people would leave their doors unlocked. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Michael. Hey, Michael. He wants to know: have you ever heard of an inmate named Walter Cole Rayborn? No, I have not. He was supposed to be a witness against Rivera for Katie and Sigfredo. He has letters from Rivera saying he was forced to implicate others. Oh,
no.
I have no idea. Yeah, I do recall like some people asking in the comments, like, what about, have you seen the letters to Kappelman or whatever? I think they might have asked that to Mentor Lawyer. Yeah.
You know what I just saw today for the first time?
Mm-hmm. What?
The first, Katie's first trial.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the first trial? No, it was the second trial one of Charlie's friends testified? The good-looking one with the beard and the mustache? I hadn't seen him before.
Who?
He
Ryan?
said that Charlie's house was a pigsty. And
Oh yeah, I think that was the Ryan Fitzpatrick guy that had a business, and then they had a
yes. What a cutie! I just saw that for the first time.
What? I didn't think he was that hot.
I did.
Okay, well, different strokes for different folks. Okay, well, I'm really glad that he is no longer friends with Charlie, so he can come clean and say all these things, about the cash being stapled. I think that's very important. Yes. Yeah. So,
Charlie's in trouble.
Exactly. I think so. Yeah. So Jussie Smollett, I have not followed up with Jussie since that whole fiasco.
He got found guilty, right?
Yeah, he was put in jail for a while.
I think he wrote a song about the whole experience or something.
Oh, yeah, he's so full of himself. Yeah, I don't even follow him or care about what's going on with him now. Yeah, what an embarrassment. He's become a national joke. Yeah.
Imagine the people that defended him didn't even come out and say anything afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. So Debbie says, I was a runner. I'd never run at that hour. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even running in a group with other friends, like if you're outnumbered or they have a weapon or something, yeah, it's just too scary. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. His lawyers will appeal it for years, probably work out a new plea deal for no jail time. Okay. A marathoner runner. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they need to be out there on the pavement to see what the conditions are really like to run outside. I love Jussie's judge. At least he spent a few days in jail. Yeah, and plus in the court of public opinion, like he's become a laughing stock of American culture, I think. Okay. Debbie says, I was a marathon. Wow, that's impressive. You were a marathon runner. Okay, but you'd never run at that hour. Yeah, I used to run cross country in high school, but, it's nothing that I really enjoy.
I never ran. If you see me running with someone chasing me.
Yeah, I know it's really good exercise, but to me, it's just so much work. And, plus, supposedly it is bad on your knees as you get older, right? So
speed walking is the best.
Yeah, just go speed walking. Yeah.
It is.
I don't believe that inmate. He states that Georgia told Rivera he would get, I'm sorry. Let me make sure this is plugged in.
What happened?
Oh, I didn't realize this laptop wasn't even plugged in. Okay, so I got the battery warning. Okay, he states that Georgia told Rivera he would get LWOP at the worst prison and said she had hand signals and different color folders to coach him. Did you see any? No, I did not see any of those letters. So I
Me neither.
Yeah, where did you read this from? Is there a news article or something online about this guy, Walter? Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm a lover, not a fighter, manipulator. Yeah, okay, so she was talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick, who knew about the stapled money. Yes.
Did you see Deep Dive's recent video? Sigfredo going back and forth with his lawyers.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was so interesting. And then Fancy Fiction also spotlighted one of the letters. That's hilarious, actually. Yes. Basically like giving Sigfredo a smackdown, saying you're the idiot. You should have cooperated. You are the one who threw away the key to your own freedom, you doof. Yeah, and he had the nerve to be like acting like the attorney wasn't doing his job and the attorney didn't help him. And yeah, I'm like typical ungrateful.
That couldn't have been him writing those letters, do you think?
No, it could be, it could be, because he does have a few brain cells, so even though probably all ruined by all the drug use. And okay, there are handwritten letters on Scrib D from Rivera and that inmate Rayborn. Rivera says he wishes he was the only one who got caught and asked why they didn't get him a good lawyer. Interesting. Well, I did look up Rivera's lawyer, and it seems like that's a private attorney that he hired, because that guy Chuck Collins has his own law practice. So it didn't look like on his website that he had worked as a public defender. Yeah. So, and from what I've read, Chuck Collins also has a good reputation. He's an experienced criminal defense attorney. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, my God, Rivera really is a fool. Rivera got 19 years a sweetheart deal for his crimes. Yes.
Once he gets out, he'll go back in for something else, probably.
Yeah, probably. I
He's
mean,
a lifer. They're all lifers.
Yeah, that's what he's done over and over, along with Sigfredo. Yeah, and Georgia put that to rest in the last trial. Michael, she asked Luis Rivera about it while he was on the stand. Okay, great. Thank you, Angela. Okay, original documents are on Scribd. Okay, yeah, that's right. So that's what the appellate attorney told Sigfredo was, you had the keys to your freedom. You know, stop protecting those people down in South Miami or South Florida. Hi, True Lifestyles. Thanks for being here.
Hi, True.
The lawyer told him to go jump in a lake for photocopies. Yeah, that's right. He said there was just like way too many pages and he had no obligation to print out all those pages and give them to him. Yeah, it's like yeah, go take a hike. Yeah. Luis also said he saw Wendy on the 17th. Yeah. Rivera will be free in time to attend Wendy's trial, which I've been commenting. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I saw your comments. Debbie, aren't you in Cancun? I thought you said that you're on this great vacation. So
well, she is.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Well, it's been an hour now, and I would like to check out whatever Fancy Fiction is doing, if she is indeed also doing a live stream.
I checked while we were chatting. I didn't see anything.
Oh, okay. So there hasn't been anything yet. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I still think overall Luis is credible, but you know, maybe he did get some dates wrong, or maybe he was talking about something that happened the first time that he and Sigfredo went up to Tallahassee. Yeah.
I think it was credible about everything but the Wendy part. Seeing her.
Yeah, but maybe they just saw somebody that Sigfredo said was Wendy, but it really wasn't her. But again, you know, what's more important is that the person was identified as Wendy, or they definitely knew her name. Sigfredo definitely knew her name and said that was who they were doing the job for. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I didn't say I believed him. I just said the letters were interesting. That Rayborn guy was going all in on behalf of Katie and Sigfredo. He was writing letters to Kawas wanting to testify against Luis Rivera. Ah, okay. Interesting. Okay. Another thing to look up then. Yeah, exactly. Where they were wondering what's she doing up here. Okay. Oh, okay. Fancy is at 8:30. Okay. Thank you very much, Maui Swift. I think some crazy woman will write love letters to Charlie in prison. They will fall in love. Yeah, you never know. I mean,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, you hear about all that happening a lot, where these like women that are lonely will start writing letters to guys in prison and just believe them wholeheartedly. And, you know, some of them even get married while the guy's still in prison. So,
you know, I think the lady might have been Donna too.
Yeah. Yeah, when Luis said the lady in the first interrogation, I think it was about Donna, but he didn't know.
I think she's right. Apple tart. I think she's right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, desperate women. Okay. Well, I think I better get going because, again, I have work to do. So maybe I'll see you guys on Fancy Fiction's chat later on if I have time to join in. Do you think you're going to join in there, Toni?
For a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
4 a.m. comes quick.
Yeah, that's true. We all have work tomorrow, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. He said to Katie, Wendy. Okay, thank you. No, Garcia assumed it was Wendy, but it wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Rochelle. Okay. Well, thank you, Toni. If you want to hang on for a second there, we'll go ahead and say goodbye to everybody out there. And thank you guys for continuing to watch us and to support this channel. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys for watching us and everything. I hope you guys have a great week. And I'm not sure when I'll be able to do another live stream, maybe Wednesday, but I have a bunch of court hearings coming up the next couple of weeks. So what does that mean? Don't adjust yourself? I'm not sure. Yeah, wouldn't we like to have 3-day weekends? Yeah, great. Thank you all and stay safe out there.
Thanks for having me.
Sure, you're welcome. Thanks for joining in. Have a good evening. Bye.